Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of White Dwarf magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop us a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys, and it does really help the channel too. Now, this month we're on issue 482 of White Dwarf magazine. We get our first Clash in the Heart of Ghur Warcry battle report. We also have some lip painting techniques for Leagues of Votan, some kit bashing, and much more. But first, we obviously get a bunch of gifts. So, with our gifts that we get this month, we have a collection of games through GOG.com, and access a library of free Warhammer PC games and discounts on others. Really good stuff, because we have got games like Mordheim, Warhammer Shadow of a Horned Rat, Talisman, Warhammer Quest 2. There's Chaos Gate in there, there's Dark Future and Man of War. So really good stuff. It's actually pretty damn cool, not gonna lie. Then we also have some pull-out bits and pieces that you can utilise with the Warcry section in the magazine. So, some Warcry cards and some Kill Team cards as well. This will all help us out as well throughout your games if you play either of them tabletop games. And we also have some data sheets and references for weapons as well within Necromunda, and good old much more. So really good stuff. A pretty decent bunch of little freebies. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this month's issue. So, let's start off in one of my favourite sections of the magazine, the contact section, where people have sent in letters, questions and photos of their minis. Some really cool ones on these pages as well. So we have an awesome Ragnar Blackmane, absolutely brilliant mini. Looks really nicely painted as well, so very well done, and a really cool one at the same time. We have some very kind of vibrant good old Fellwater Troggoths as well. The vibrancy of the green is actually really good and really nice as well, so it's pretty damn good and definitely worth a nosy at, and a bit of inspiration if you've got any of them minis that you want to get going through. Then we have some awesome Chaos Space Marine Terminators. They all look really cool. 5 different colour schemes, well 4 different colour schemes. They look brilliant. They're very well done. They're very nice. Genuinely really nice to look at as well, so really good stuff. Then on the other pages we have an awesome Annihilator Prime, which is the most vibrant armour colour scheme I have ever seen, just up here as well. I don't think I've ever seen a colour scheme like it. It's, yeah, weird, but really cool at the same time. Then we have an awesome Nurgle Demon, which looks pretty damn good. We have some Plague Marines as well for the good old Pallid Hand. And then we also have a really nice good old Stegodon from the good old Seraphon range. A Stegodon, I must admit, one of the coolest minis that I think I've ever seen, and I really like it. It's a really nice one. I have one myself, and it's very differently painted as well. Most people go for greens, and yeah, that stands out. It works very well. So really cool stuff. And then finally, on the last pages, we have if you are struggling to paint up your Cruel Boys or anything like that, or if you're going to be getting the Stormbringer magazine, there's some tips here of kind of your palette that you could utilise for your Cruel Boys as well. So really good stuff just up here. Some Aeronautica Imperialis, Imperial and Renegade fighters, which also look pretty damn good. They look very nice. They're very well done. And then we also have a very nice Eomer of Viridimark, a fantastic pair of minis, very nicely done. And we also have a converted Sister Famulus of the Adeptus Sororitas, a conversion mixed with Adeptus Sororitas and Soulblight Gravelords kits. Really cool. It's very nicely done, and it looks pretty cool as well, and a bit different, a bit interesting. And so yeah, really good stuff in these pages. And then we move into one of the major sections that I must admit I've really enjoyed looking through. So if you like your Warhammer video games, you will probably already know about Warhammer 40k Darktide from Fat Shark Games, a really cool game that is upcoming as well. So it's getting released on PC very soon, and it should be really good fun. If you're unaware of what Darktide is, then it is a 4-player co-op game from Fat Shark Games. Really good stuff. Absolutely bonkers and chaotic. If you have played Warhammer Vermintide, basically utilise that, but only in the 41st millennium, all set in the Territum Hive as well, so one of the Hive cities, and yeah, it's all been overrun by zealots, chaos and mutants, and you are tasked with going in there and basically, yeah, smashing everything to pieces. Really cool stuff. So with this, it is 4-player co-op, as I say. There are 4 major characters to choose from. An Ogryn, we have a Psyker, we have an Adeptus Sororitas, good old, well, not even Adeptus Sororitas even, she's a Fanatic, a Zealot, and we also have a pretty cool Veteran as well. So depending on what you want to pick, you will have different weapons if you're playing the game as well, but this gives you an idea of how to utilise them and how to create them for tabletop as well. So really good, and yeah, they just stand out really cool. This is a really nice little section as well of the magazine, because you get a look at each character that you can use, and also how you can paint up and create your own versions of them for tabletop, including conversions, because you will need to kit bash the occasional one, so to kind of make them work properly. But yeah, they look really good, and also paint schemes as well. So really good stuff. Fantastic to read through and have a look at as well. And the game obviously coming very soon, coming to consoles next year. So a little while away from that because it's not quite ready, but really cool. And I must admit, I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be good fun. Sticking with the 41st millennium though, we have a really large section for Kill Team as well. So we have the Kill Team battle that is being played out by 5 of the staffers. So they're going through a Kill Team campaign. Really cool. So we have a bunch of Orcs. We have some good old Eldari, some Harlequins, which look really cool and very nicely painted. We have our good old 1,000 Suns. We also have some Astra Militarum, and finally we have some Tau. Really cool stuff. Very nicely painted minis as well. So having these little kill teams works very well and very nicely done, in all honesty. But yeah, really cool stuff to see these on the pages. And we also get some pretty decent fiction in there. So this is one of 2 lots of fiction. So we have a kill team fiction, which seems a bit unusual, but really good. It's a nice little section. And then we also have a mission pack as well for Kill Team as well. So if you are playing through Kill Team or you're interested in Kill Team, definitely worth having a nosy at because of how they're going through it and what they're doing with it. And this will give you a little bit of inspiration and a bit of help with your games as well. So really cool bits and pieces. Then if you're more of a painter like myself, this is the section that is good for you. So this is the Eavy Metal brush tips as well. So this is all about painting up your Leagues of Votann. So if you are picking up the Leagues of Votann, or you have already, and you've not painted them yet, this could give you some tips for painting the Greater Furian League. Entirely up to you if you're going to go with this scheme, but this gives you your colour wheel and how you can go about getting some really cool tones out of them as well. So really good stuff. And pretty damn good as well, including how you paint mixes as well. So your 1-to-1 ratios and even your 5-to-1 ratios in some cases will give you a bit of a different look to your minis, and this is how the Eavy Metal team paint up as well. So really cool stuff. We also get some pretty cool, more interested and intricated shots into different areas, including the power weapons of Uthar the Destined, and then we get a nice look at the overall army once you've painted them all up as well. So including Grimnir, Rakal, an Einir champion, your Einhir Hearthguard, your Hernkin Pioneers, Hecaton Land Fortress, and your good old Hearthkin Warriors as well. So really cool stuff. It's really nice to see. I like the Leagues of Votann. I've picked them up. Not going with this colour scheme, going with a different one, but really nice to see. And gives me a little bit of a hint and inspiration of how I can get mine going as well. So really good to see these on the pages. And then we move into the Age of Sigmar. We have a pretty cool battle report for Warcry. So Horns of Hashut going up against the Rotmire Creed in the Desolation and Wastes of Thondir in the realm of Ghur. this looks really cool. So there are some interesting terrain pieces that have been used, a really cool board as well that has been used for the game as well, and pitting your two minor armies and war bands going up against each other, so both 1,000 points or close to 1,000 points, and they look really, really cool. This battle report is really nice. It's pretty lengthy as well, so there's a good section to it, and a lot of good bits and pieces in there, so definitely worth having a nosy through. So of going through how you're going to go through and all the different rounds, much more, pretty damn good. Now there are some other sections as well, so we have a bit of extra bits and pieces of how to use, for instance, the Warcry dashboard as well. So entirely up to you if you want to use this, but it can help you out as well, so for keeping track of your games and much more. So including your rounds and even what you've been able to get through. So definitely worth having a nosy at, definitely worth trying out as well. Cut it out, that's from what of cards that we got that I showed you at the very beginning of the video, and yeah, you can have it looking pretty damn good, so not bad at all, and definitely worth trying it out as well. And then we have some updated rules as well for Warcry, so if you are a Warcry player, definitely worth having a read through these updated rules to get your kind of narrative play in tow, in your match play as well, so really good stuff. And then if you're still into your painting and you're painting up orcs or anything like that, like the Ironjaws for instance, there's some pretty decent painting tips for different armor styles as well. So having a blue armored orcs, which looks weird, and I must admit, it kind of looks a bit bizarre to me, but they look really nice and they're very well painted. So this will give you some really cool painting tips and tricks of how to get going through with them, and yeah, you can have some really cool looking minis at the end of it. And then we also have our Flashpoint Clash as well, so there is much more to the magazine for Age of Sigmar, and there is to 40k as well, so definitely worth having a nosy through, having a good read through if you're playing either system, and yeah, you can get going with it, so cool times. If Horus Heresy is more your speed, there are some updated rules as well, so they are adding a little bit extra and giving it all the little tweaks. So if you're picking up the magazine, you can have a read through the tweaks that have been updating to the rules for your line breakers and much more, so really good, and definitely worth having a nosy at, just so you know you're on the same page as everybody else. But yeah, really cool, and definitely helping out with your good old Horus Heresy games as well, so happy days. And then finally we'll go into the inside the studio section. So we have missed out Necromunda and a couple of other sections in the magazine. If you're into them type of bits, definitely worth having a read through, because you know they'll come in handy. So we have some really cool painted minis from inside of the studio of the White Dwarf team, and we have some pretty cool ones. So there are some awesome skirmishes going on. We also have some hobby bingo catch up as well. Must admit, my hobby bingo went out the window over this, well, very beginning of summer really. So yeah, but we have some awesome Mordor orcs that have been painted up, and they're very nice. We have some Cataphractii Terminators, which look pretty cool. I must admit, they look really nice. And then we have some good old Iron Hands on the back there as well, which look really good and very nice. Iron Hands? Imperial Fists, that's the one. Got it completely wrong there. So from good old Horus Heresy as well, so look really cool. And we have some awesome, very bright, vibrant pink and green Tyranids, which look absolutely bonkers, but really cool stuff. So really happy times. Definitely worth reading the magazine, I'm not going to lie to you. It's having a worth nosy through, and we get some really cool freebies with this month. Definitely worth it. The next issue out on sale on 16th of December. I'll pick it up, I'll have a go through it, and yeah, we'll probably get a video out of it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you sometime soon. Bye bye now.